What's up, YouTube? Scott Lett here, owner of Iron City Power Washing. So, we're technically shut down from doing work, but that doesn't mean that calls aren't going to stop coming in, right? And we've made announcements on our Facebook page and whatnot that, we've shut down for the year. But, like I said, calls are still coming, and we're still getting online submissions for commercial work. So I'm headed to a place called Sloss Furnace, which is a very historic place here in Birmingham, Alabama. And they have some work they need done there. So when I get a submission for something like this, which could potentially be a really good contract and even a big job, I'm going to just let my wife know, and I'm going to go take care of it. So I'm headed there now to meet this person, go over the scope, and hopefully get the job. It is a government job, so that's always tricky. You have to have different credentials, like being a government subcontractor with SAM.gov, and you have to have different certifications and whatnot, which we have all these things, and you have to maintain them throughout the year. E-Verify is one, which that's a whole nother video. But what I want to talk about today has to do with commercial work specifically, and it's something that even with year 6 that we are struggling with. We've always struggled with this, and it's how to get paid in a proper amount of time. So most commercial jobs are net 30. I would say most of our accounts that we've worked for pay us within 30 days. Some pay us in 15 days. Some will say, hey, the check's ready today. It really depends on the situation. But most of the time, it's a net 30 situation. However, there has been more instances than I really can count, or I want, where we don't get paid on time. I think it's absolutely absurd that we have to wait 30 days. I mean, transaction complete, once they say you are finished with the job, the project manager, owner of the business, whoever it may be you're working with, property manager, if they say the job is complete and you submit your invoice, that's when the 30 days start, okay? I still think it's absolutely absurd that we have to wait 30 days. It doesn't take 30 days to approve an invoice and print off a check. And I let them know, hey, I would rather come to your office and pick up the check than have to wait, because we've had checks get lost in the mail. Like a $30,000 check. I mean, it didn't show up. That's happened. So I highly encourage you guys, if you can, let them know we would rather you, once you cut the check, we would love to come and pick it up. However, there are some accounts that is an ACH format, which means they directly deposit the money that they owe us into our bank account. And for whatever reason, those are the ones that have decided they don't want to pay us on time. So, year 6 into this thing, we still have not come up with an effective way to get paid on time. And we've requested money up front with, say that an estimate gets approved. We say, hey, we would like 10% up front. Oh, we can't do that. Okay, then we don't want to jeopardize losing the job altogether, right? So there's a limitation on how hard you can press on these accounts. We even mentioned, hey, there's going to be a late penalty. Can you sign this? No, we can't. Oh, well, we don't want to lose the job. So, do you create some kind of late penalty form? And most people aren't going to like that. And if they decide, hey, we aren't going to agree to that, we're not going to pay your $25 a day late fee, then what? That you potentially may lose that client. You may lose that account because they don't want to deal with that. They'll just find someone else. So it's really unfortunate that it seems like, even though, you're the subcontractor, you're the company they hire, it seems like they still have all the power when it comes to paying you. And if you give them any kind of pushback, any kind of problem, they don't have to rehire you. They don't have to communicate with you again. They could just send you that check and be like, you know what? If they're that worried about getting paid, they're not willing to wait an extra week. We'll just find someone else. So, because that's true. They don't have to use you. They could use someone else, which is very unfortunate. So, like, how hard do you press? How serious do you get? Do you even mention late fees? Or do you just take it in the chin and say, well, you know what? We want a 30-day net 30. And if you go past that, oh well, as long as we get paid at some point. Me personally, I'm not okay with that. I don't think it should take that long to get paid. But I also don't want to hard press them to the point where they don't pay us at all. They'll hold the payment even longer. They'll just say, you know what? We'll just find someone else. Because they could all do that, right? Because there's pressure washers everywhere in Birmingham, all across the country. They don't have to choose us. So it's like, what are the limitations? What can you do to avoid the late payments? Like, what are you guys doing? Do you have some kind of form, some kind of agreement in your contract that they sign that if they are late, they're going to pay you an extra amount? Like, what is that amount? So I guess my question is, how are you avoiding these situations? Because I know we all face this, but what is the proper procedure? What is the proper step to take to make sure that you are getting paid on time? And what is the consequence or repercussion on them if they do not pay you on time? How are you guys combating this? Because nothing we are doing is working. Phone calls, reminders that, hey, this particular invoice is due next week. And the reason I'm making this video is we had a $5,000 invoice that was due last week. Didn't get it, contacted them. They said they missed it. They said that we were going to get paid this morning, or they were going to run the payment through yesterday, and then the money to be in the bank account this morning. Wasn't there. And now they seem to be shut down for the year. That's not okay. That's a $5,000 invoice, okay? Is that going to make or break us? No. It's the principle of subbing someone out to work for you, making them wait 30 days to get paid, and then still not paying them on time. Now we're going to have to wait till first of the year. So that means that's, what is that? 45 days of waiting for a $5,000 invoice. That's not okay with us. Like, it can't be like that. That's ridiculous. So, but this is also one of our biggest clients. So how do we combat that? And this is a battle that we're all facing. I know it is. And that's one thing about the commercial world, guys. Yeah, you make more money, but you are going to have times where you're going to have to wait a long time to get paid. And then there's chances you won't get paid at all. And then there's chances they won't communicate with you. All right, you're just going to fall into the bills of all the other contractors and subs that are working for them as well. Especially with construction companies. They are the worst ones. All right. So just be very precise in your contract somehow, which I feel like we are. Like, we make it very loud and clear, like we want to get paid on time. We haven't really implemented a late fee, but I'm to the point now where it's worth pressing, getting, letting them know there is going to be a late fee payment of some sort if you do not pay us on time. Because with this particular company, sure, if it's once or twice, no big deal. But when it's almost every time you work for them, they fail to pay you on time, I feel like it is appropriate to make something happen, or they're going to continue to just not pay you on time. All right. And when you are a growing company, and your insurances are only going up because of the bigger jobs you're taking on, you have expenses, you have, operational expenses. You have an employee that wants a paycheck every week, like, and you need that money to come in, right? You're relying on that, especially when you're doing Christmas bonuses and whatnot. Again, we're not hurting for money. It's the principle of it. You know, we could be in a bad situation. You know, we could be at the point where, like, we need this money right now. It's not that. It's just, like, how are we going to avoid not getting paid in the future? How are you guys combating this is what I'm trying to figure out. Year 6 into this, very reputable company in this area. Like, we are their subcontractor for pressure washing, but they continue to fail to pay us on time. And they've even said it's a miscommunication between the account managers and accounts payable. There's some kind of miscommunication there, but it has yet to be fixed. So, but I leave that to say there has still been other companies we worked for that have failed to pay us on time on multiple occasions. So how are you guys combating that? How hard should you press? Is it worth even pressing, because you could jeopardize losing the account? Let me know what you guys think. Scott Lett, Iron City Power Washer.